この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am back for more Owarimonogatari. We are on episode 10 to start. I do not know how many episodes we will end up doing. There are 13 total in the season, so it would work really well if we can do 10, 11, and then 12, 13. That's what we're going to kind of aim for, but the cliffhangers happen, so we'll see. I'm not inherently opposed to watching all of them now, but not planning on it either. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. You also might notice, I haven't brought it up in any of the other videos, but you might notice a new addition to the Paper Pal shelf, which is this one, which I probably need to go over again and make the colors a little bit more vibrant, because they don't show up very well in direct light, but you can see there's a Senjo figure. Yay! And you might notice also that there are a lot of other slots available here, and I will be planning to fill this out eventually with other Monogatari characters. But that was the one I started with, and we'll go from there. I think Shinobu will probably be next, and then maybe I'll see about an Araragi to be flanked by the two best ladies in his life, and then we'll see about Hanakawa maybe. I don't know. Not gonna commit to it, but I do want some Gatsuri figures. Your Gatsuri paper pals. That's what I call them. Haven't made a new paper pal in a long time, so it's kind of fun to get one done. But I do want to go over it with, like, I think some of the line work in pen would probably be good, although maybe not, because the line work in Gatori isn't, like, super bold or anything. It's not like JoJo, which is definitely lined in pen and crosshatched a lot, and you can see is much more vibrant and darker. But definitely want to go over the colored pencil segments a bit again, because the pastels don't really show up on camera. Although, to me, they're quite clear. They just don't translate well to a camera. It's the way it is. So, I just want to point that out, because, yay! Also, new backgrounds, yay! Okay, enough about that, on to Monogatari. So, a few things. I missed a lot of stuff in the last couple of episodes, just because I was off on timelines and just a little iffy on the way, like, when things were happening, but, a lot of that has been like taken care of and confirmed for me. So we know that we're dealing with the same time frame as Tsubasa Tiger. We know that is what caused the building to be burned, and certain other things like that. So that's cleared up. Good, great, solid, wonderful. There's something else. I don't remember what it was. So just gonna pretend that it didn't happen. So, last time, when we left off, Araragi and Kambaru had arrived at a park, the place where we've had a lot of things happen, and met Shinobu there, who is injured, apparently because of the separation between her and Araragi. She is not healing up as fast as she otherwise would, and heard from her that she had just fought some sort of monkey creature, and then we got some images of what I assume is the same monkey creature, which appears to be a strange amalgamation of a bunch of the oddities or aberrations, or whatever you want to call them, that we have fought or dealt with, dealt with. Let's say dealt with before. It's got crab claws, and it's got the monkey raincoat, and some other things, and they experienced a lost snail thingamajiggy as they were on their way to this park. So I don't know what's going on here. There's something real funky going on here. I don't know what it is. I'm interested to find out. We also, of course, have the giant empty suit of armor, which I believe is Shinobu's first minion, who is here to attempt to get his big ol' sword back, his heartspan, which I assume Shinobu still has access to, or still has with her, and seems to be pursuing Araragi to that end. Okay, that's our starting point at the moment. Haven't seen much Ogi, though we got her in the very beginning. Haven't seen much of Ogi. Haven't seen a lot of stuff. Ran into Ononoki. Ran into this weird raincoat wearing amalgamation of monstrosities. I guess we're gonna fight it, or talk to it, or figure out what the hell it is. I don't know. Let's find out, shall we? Let's go ahead and jump on into episode 10 of Owarimonogatari, or episode 3 of the arc Shinobu Mail. right? Is that right? I think that's right. So I've got the episode up and ready to go. I've got the subs switched to the right track, and we're all set pretty much. It's up and ready to go. It is at 0 seconds. There will be two versions of this reaction video. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there in the description, and a timer-based version up on YouTube. Discussion on the timer-based version, not on the picture-picture version. Mix and match as you see fit. And if you want to sync up your own copy of the episodes with the timer-based version up on YouTube, that's what it's there for. Just get your copy ready, because the beep beep timer's coming at ya. Left half is a monkey, right half is a crab. It's not a monkey crab battle, it's a monkey crab chimera. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Definitely a mystery. Oh. Ow. Just casually sitting on the swing. Mm. Oh. Yep. Mm? Mm. Okay, that seemed rather easy. Oh, snacks. Nope. 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 Hello, Shinobu. Kaka. Oh. Okay. Situation normalized, yeah, guess. Okay. Devour. What? See a heart span? Seems like a good idea. What was that thing? Under the swing? Yeah. Is she still not wearing panties? Huh? Go to shrine. So it said. So it said. Indeed. It's just goofy. Hmm? So you believe. Seemed pretty alive. Okay. I don't feel like we've got the whole story here. I mean, that all makes perfect sense. Except it seems like it's missing some. Hi, Guyan. Okay, playing gotcha. Haha. Mm-hmm. The introduction you've been waiting for. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that. Ha ha ha! But she already knows. Okay, Guyan. Well, Nissan already knows everything. Yeah, but she already knows everything that happened. What? Okay, seemed like it. But she said that that's impossible. Uh-huh. Hmm. And yet it is. The soul fled and inhabited the armor? So even the methods that kill a vampire don't kill a vampire. Doshite. Why? Yeah, why now? Because of the bond with Araragi? Or because of the recent severance of that bond? Okay. The floor is quite literally yours. Right. Okay. Going full Dracula. How? Yes. Yes. But it took 400 years. A little time, eh? Okay. The cape. Hmm. Hmm. Pseudo aberration. Before that as well. That's cool. All you did as an individual? All the energy that's been fed to Shinobu? Is she about to, like, turn on them? A little bit. Please. This feels like the start of a big BBEG reveal. Like, what? Hmm. It's the ending of Tsubasa Tiger. Okay. Standing above the city, playing with toys. Uh-huh. That's beautiful. Supposedly. Until something like a soul. Or darkness? An endless, impossible loop. So tragic, seemingly. An inhabited Araragi? Wait, what? Okay. So this is interesting now. I think it became immediately super fascinating when we questioned what we're supposed to dismiss. I don't know how to put this. Uh when engaging with this story and stories like it, we're supposed to dismiss the coincidence that interesting things keep happening to our characters because that's just necessary for the writing, right? Otherwise, you'd have to generate an entire new cast of characters or an entirely new protagonist, right? It's not strange in a story to have oddities continue popping up around Araragi, given that it is the story of Araragi discovering and fighting or otherwise dealing with oddities up to a point. But now we're questioning the writing, the meta level coincidence of that occurrence, which is not something that I expected and is really fascinating. Really interesting. All this coming from Guyan, who is lying about her identity. I would assume lying about her identity. I don't know if I trust that she's lying. But I would assume lying about her identity because she doesn't want Kambaru to catch on. She just wants to meet her. A lot of symbolism of Guyan, like, standing above the city, using it as though the houses are doll houses and the characters are people to place around. The whole thing started out like the "I'm actually the bad guy" speech. But I don't think she's the bad guy. I don't think there is necessarily like a bad guy. Still keeping my eye on Ogi. But hmm. Timeline wise, how old is Araragi right now? 17? Which would mean he would be maybe 1 or 2 at the time when she says that the first minion returns. I wanna go through that sequence again. Up, up, up. Clustering even as he was scattered. Returned to this town. That looks like a Babi Araragi. He's got a little thing on his head. Okay. So it seems like we're building to some sort of explanation that is something about this entity attached itself to the toddleragi, and through that somehow was the cause of a lot of the coinkydinks that we've experienced over the course of this series. Effectively changing everything we know about our protagonist. Okay. So we get the jacket switch. I don't remember, but at the end of Tsubasa Tiger, does Aragi show up wearing that purple jacket with the rips on it? I'm going to assume that he does. You know what? I don't know if I have to assume. I think I still have Tsubasa Tiger downloaded. I do not. I deleted it because drive space. Damn. Okay. Doesn't matter that much. I'm going to assume that he is wearing that. That it's another tie-in. Okay, she feasts on the corpse. I want to see what was hidden in the swing. Because it looked like there was something hidden in the swing sequence. Where is that? It's at the end of this scene, right? Yeah. Okay, once he's under, looking up. Yeah. Is it attached to the bottom of the swing? It is. Thought I saw something weird there. Uh-huh. Meet me at the shrine. And then this shot of his eye looks so much like the shot of the first minion's eye. First aberration slayer's eye. Ah. There's something weird going on. There's something weird going on. I want to say, like, the backgrounds in this episode were a notch above what they are often, especially these backgrounds around Gaian. This cool, like, almost Aurora-esque sky that's going on with these awesome rainbow gradient abstractions. Super cool. Isn't that wrong? Indeed it is. I think. I'm a sex slave. She just goes with it because she already knows. Requests that they explain everything to her. That's something interesting that I feel like Izuko has done before. I feel like she's done that at least once before, where we know that she knows everything, or she says she knows everything, but she still requests explanations from people. I wonder what her purpose for doing that is. To figure out their perspective on things and gauge how much they know? If she is truly omniscient, then she already knows that, though. Or is it just for fun? Ah, she's such a weird one. A weird character. Let her enjoy verbal pain. More elaborations precisely because they do not die. So they are affected by sunlight, but their souls or something akin to that remains and attempts always to regenerate, but is always then burned away. So I'm guessing it hid itself, attached itself to Araragi somehow, and then awakened most recently, either when he bonded with Kishot or when that bond was severed. Interesting. Interesting. Well, we could sit here and speculate on that all day, or we could just go ahead and watch the next one. I prefer option 2, so let's go ahead and watch the next one. Let me pull up episode 11, and then we'll jump right into it. I don't even want to take a break. We will just hop on into episode 11 of Owarimonogatari. I've got it up. It's ready. If you're using the beep beep timer, the beep beep timer is coming. Oh, subtrack. Okay, let's go. Okay. All this stuff on that date. When you time traveled back. Yeah, but it's a strange coincidence. The beginning of an era. Time span like heart span? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Soka. With her knowledge or without her knowledge? Drawn to it naturally or intentionally? If intentionally, then Shinobu's been hiding that all this time. Which I wouldn't put past her. And here, it's chasing her, not the other way around. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nowhere near it. By the ashes? Hmm. Hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hmm. Okay. Good question. Don't get many chances to use it as a sex slave. Uh-huh. Got a full timeline? His hometown? Okay. The way the voice becomes so old. Limited bandwidth. Director's chair? Until. Is that what caused it to reach its limit? Seems so. Which means its influence to stop aberrations. Okay. Which is why it's less dilapidated now. Oh, awesome. Consume and recover. Energy drain. They synced up? That wasn't what I was expecting. Okay. Is that the reason behind... behind attempting to instill Nautico as a... A few. That's a good place to start. She's not going to give you a helpful answer. Or... And now she's looking away. Hmm. Hmm. How so? Distracting her? Hmm. Just being here. When they first came here. Hmm. Just seeping power. Hmm. Have to do this alone? Back. Vampire hunters? He's a vampire. It looks like we're probably gonna meet episode. And maybe some others, maybe dramaturgy again. Eh, okay. Goal stated. Money. That's pretty cool. Okay. Okay. You don't need to hear about my ex. Hmm. I was about to say. Uh, I'll look at instead of after. There it is. I was about to say that was rather innocent for Kambaru. That seems more like it. What do you need? Huh? Except smut. Oh, Ashita no Joe. Yeah. I assume that these are all references. I love this track. Uh-huh. Aww. Nope. Okay. What? Uh, it's episode in Kaiki. Mm-hmm. Okay. A. As it would. MILFs? Too real. Buying condoms. or or anything. Who is that? That's that's number one. You have a body now. Woohoo! Woohoo! Is it the same voice actor? Took his voice. Well, I guess we're watching the whole thing. Well. Okay, got a couple of answers and a bunch of other questions. So, some answers about how things started really happening here at the shrine and in town in general. Some gorgeous scenes and just awesome color design. And this whole switch to the different format as though it's a recording on almost on VHS or like Betamax, you know? Really low bandwidth on the audio. It's fantastic for the purpose of the explanation. And then she switches herself to a director's chair. Again, kind of going with the same kind of symbolism as her being above the town and putting everybody in their places. And also going with some of the things that we've heard before about casting roles. Makes me a little bit suspicious of Guyan here. But I kind of have been from the beginning because she's weird. She's just strange. I don't know. It's difficult to determine how much she knows, but more than that, how much she has used that information that she knows to control outcomes. That's the weird part. Unforeseen developments. So you have a chance to alter everything, and it is partially your fault because you brought Kishat here, Shinobu here, and he used that. Just the proximity to his I guess his foundations is enough to jumpstart his regeneration. And then at that point, Shinobu turns away, chewing on her nails. And then we completely change tone here and get as goofy as it gets, you know? Just switching tone completely as Guyan leaves the sequence. Just she's gone wacky and wonky. And some gorgeous like really expressive animation. Oh yeah, he's fully a Ashitano Joe with the hair and the shading style. So all of these, I assume these are analogous to real covers of real light novels, but I don't recognize any of them because I don't know light novels that well. But if you know what these are meant to be jokes about, you can let me know in the comments. That'd be fun. And then we get the brutal garçon devours the something, and we find out that on the cover, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Okay. And in the same breath, make fun of light novel titles. Perfect. You show up, go grab some porn, get laughed at, it gets real awkward and is a wonderful representation of that awkwardness. And then we meet this sort of weird gender fluidish. It reminds me of Envy more than anything. Yeah.
2人目
face has elements that are reminiscent of Shinobu, especially the mouth. How strange. How strange. It is. It's the same voice actor. He's just doing a much higher like timbre to his voice. Timbre? Pitch. Tone. So it's taken bits and pieces of everything that it's absorbed. Maybe it's not Shinobu's mouth that it's reminding me of, but Kambaru's, because it energy drained her. And it just approaches him and calls him number 2. These last couple episodes have been kind of weird, because usually there's a clear way to relate what's going on to like real world things or real world psychology or realistic or relatable traumas. These last few episodes have been a little bit more out there, a little bit more working in the space of the Monogatari series and its lore and the things that it set up before, which makes it a little bit more difficult for me, I think, to discuss, because it sort of just is what it is, as stated, or it's a lie about what it is, as stated, and Oisin is pulling the wool over my eyes. There's probably a lot here that I'm missing, and I don't. I get the feeling that either there's not that much that I feel like I can talk about, or I'm missing everything here that is worth talking about, which is kind of a terrible position to be in, because it's like, oh, either way, I'm fucking up, which kind of sucks. Kind of sucks a little bit. But I'm super interested in this. These last couple episodes, which have been really well taken up by Gaian explaining things in universe about the, I guess we could call it a reincarnation of sorts, or the revival of this character, who is now a character with a voice and a face, which is crazy. All of those things have been interesting, but only from the perspective of the way that they play with story elements that we thought we understood before, and not so much in terms of relatability to the real world. Unless I'm missing that, which is entirely possible. Although Shinobu does turn to the camera and say, "Don't overthink it, my master." Being us. So maybe I just shouldn't overthink it. In any case, it seems like we're going to get a little bit of information from the horse's mouth, as it were. And that sounds like a good thing to watch right now, because I am sitting here in a state of confusion and not really understanding what's about to happen. And so let's just watch it and we'll find out. That sounds like a good idea. Okay, now that it has been 2 episodes and we're about an hour into recording, I am going to take a quick break and just run a syncy thing. So I'll be back in just a moment. I will put a cut here, and then we'll jump on into episode 12. So, see you in a moment. All right, episode 12 is pulled up. We are resynced and we are ready to go. So, if timer-based version is your cup of tea, get your copy ready, because the beep beep timer for episode 12 is coming at ya. Let's see what this confrontation amounts to. Okay. I'm a little uneasy. So you say. The bow. Those eyes, though. Huh. Hopefully that doesn't screw up the syncing. Wrong subtitle track to start. Is that the tea with the little gel stuff in it? I like that stuff. Or the aloe juice. Really legit like an X. Okay. I guess that's where the relatability comes in, doesn't it? Handling an old X. And that would be him, wouldn't it? And so, is this OP entirely from the perspective of the minion? From number one? Maybe. Maybe. That might make sense. Okay. For turning you into a vampire. Right? Wait, they're both sitting out in the sunlight. He no longer burns away. Only one boyfriend. A little bit. That's a dick thing to say. And he isn't? Hmm. It's like a hybrid of Shinobu and Araragi. It's so weird. Fight? Sure. The sword. But only a replica. So you can. Comes off as a bit of a stalker. Okay. That is. Oh. Hi, episode. Fair point, episode. Oh boy. Holy and holy? Still haven't named him. Oh, hi. Mm-hmm. 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 And so we are enemies? Okay. Same manner of speech. Okay, bye. Why aren't they going after him? Because he challenged you to a duel. I think it's the right idea. Brought donuts, book. All the important things. Don't interrupt their moment. Okay. Okay, what did she do to make you maybe angry? What did Kambaru say? Except that would probably, I mean, might give him all his powers back, make the duel real difficult. Have to go turn down your ex, eh? For realsies. No texts. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh, but out of self-preservation? Oh. Hello, I brought donuts. I don't think I understand it either. Can we just be friends? Your responsibility. Yeah, Sencho Gahara. I don't know about that. I don't think so. Maybe. Definitely. Fair. Avoidance. Wow. And the only way to solve this is to talk to him. Yourself. God damn, Kambaru. It hurts because it's true. Damn, Kanbaru. And nothing would change. Doesn't mean it's necessarily a justified one. That's true enough. We have 400 years. Hmm. But it's different. Hmm. So be it. You have a responsibility to. That would be weird. Choose for real. Kanbaru. Hmm. 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 After hearing that, eh? Okay. Ruins? Oh, back there, eh? That seal's still there. While holding her head in her hand like a watermelon, able to squish it. Did you buy me a bra? Mm. Mm. That doesn't quite fit. Yeah. Just do it yourself, yeah. Sure. End. End. Ooh. Oh, this was so good. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So, this episode things really came together in a fascinating way. And I find it kind of interesting that I talked about how unrelatable I was finding this arc up to this point. Immediately before this arc became extremely relatable. Because the narrative that we have here is very much that of an ex-boyfriend and a currently thriving and relatively happy and successful relationship, and the desire to avoid any sort of contact with what was before for a rather wide variety of reasons, uh, which Kambaru lays out kind of spectacularly while under threat of death from an extremely powerful immortal vampire, who's just sort of palming her face and digging her claws in, which is rather terrifying. So, plus a bunch of points to Kambaru for saying what she said and what needed to be said, which was, well, it essentially boils down to just fucking communicate. This guy, this first aberration slayer has come back after 400 years, and whether or not you believe it, in some part his return is because of his love for you, and he's gone through a lot of effort to find you and a lot of effort to make himself whole as much as he can in order to get a straight answer from you. You guys had a messy breakup, and he wants to make up. So you have a responsibility in this situation to communicate with him, not through intermediaries, but face to face yourself. And yes, there are ways that that can go wrong. If you have to break his heart again by telling him straight up that you're not interested, so be it. It's better than leaving it hanging and just continuous tension and awfulness. And then also beyond that, just like if you don't learn from this situation, you're never going to learn from it, and you're just going to continue leaving a wake of the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth behind you. All of these people whose lives you have touched and then shattered because of your own selfish desire to avoid confrontation. And likewise, if the other thing that you fear comes to bear and you do decide that there is something between you and the first aberration slayer, the first boyfriend, whatever, and you have to dismiss Araragi, that's better than not addressing it in the first place. You just have to go and actually communicate. Suddenly it clicks. Ding! Other things that are interesting is, like, up until this point, I thought that this OP was primarily from, I mean, either from the perspective of somebody talking about the sword, or from the perspective of Shinobu talking about Araragi, or from the perspective of Araragi talking about Shinobu. But it appears now, call my name forever and ever, my treasure. It appears now that we're talking about Shinobu from the perspective of this first Demon Slayer, and a lot of things here make a lot more sense. He's the spirit that is pursuing her, right? The bloody sword locked away as she frolics along, and then he is there in the shadows chasing her, a spirit. And then here she is nude, bound in what appears to be ribbons of some kind, and then surrounded with a cage. Some other stuff here that doesn't make sense to me symbolically, but okay. It's still a big improvement. Okay, so we get these two sealed bottles of aloe juice, which I'm pretty sure is what that is, and I'm pretty sure I like that stuff. I might have to buy some, because I just watching this, I was like, oh yeah, that shit's tasty. I like that stuff. Okay, and then, what's the line that he says here? Anybody could replace you, but nobody can replace me. As her first? I suppose. But the thing is, he's already been replaced. Can't refute what you're saying. Love lines like that. Wish I had the chance to say them. His character design really is like a weird hybrid. Very strange. So we end up in this very colorful, kind of gorgeous location. Takes that drink. Araragi moves to take his drink, and then Episode shows up and seemingly rescues him from the potential of major poison. I want my sword. I want to make up with her. I want to try again. No, I don't want to go back to being human, and that's a difference between us. So, one thing that this character says that rings true is his request for Araragi to come up with merits of staying with Shinobu. And I don't think that logically there are many that he could come up with. I can't think of any. Which comes back to what Kambaru says later. Fucking logic. Sometimes humans don't operate on logical level, you know? Sometimes we need to not operate on pure logic, because we are not logical creatures. We are emotional creatures and instinctual creatures. And human or aberration, I think that holds true for vampires as well. I think fairly clearly. It's interesting. Yeah, it's been 400 years, no way. There are some cool little bits of animation throughout this episode. Alright, so he opens the bottle. Do we hear a... We do. Whatever they used for the sound of that was a sealed bottle with all the little plastic bits intact. So it's unlikely that it's actually holy water or anything of that sort. We get the arrival of Episode. Hello, buddy. And then an amazing out of the shadows moment from Izuko, who steps out from behind him. Yeah, we see behind him she is not there, and then she is. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Hello. Where the fuck did you come from? That was some Oshino Ogi showing up stuff. Okay. Okie dokie. And then challenge to a duel. Leave the details to them. They will handle it. Then up we go, and the majority of the episode is taken up by this conversation between Shinobu, who has Kambaru pinned down, is very much threatening her life throughout this conversation. You've got guts, I'll grant you that. Absolutely. I won't get angry, but I am. Apologize, and I'll forgive you. Nope, and I will not take it back. Indeed, I will repeat what I said. You have to meet with him. You cannot cut your ties without actually going up and talking to him. Yeah, who cares about logic? A natural phenomenon, but so is love. Why do you just not understand? That's the thing, she understands so well. And it's specifically because it is Kambaru here that she can understand. Because she has been the one who was there first and left for last. Regarding Senjo Kahara. The one who had dibs, if you will, and yet was spurned. And who ended up accepting it. That she can speak for the first Aberration Slayer. That the thing that needs to happen is a conversation. That's beyond clever. It's really good. It's really good. That's really good. Very glad to have watched this episode and not just left it for a week being like, I don't know if this arc's great. I don't care if you make up. I don't care if you want to choose Araragi. You shouldn't force them to handle this. This is your responsibility. But she understands so well. You don't know that he hates you necessarily. Yeah, unless you meet him in person, nothing improves. Perfect. Finally, the OA scene is showing. Yep. That his love is a problem for you. It's a hard thing to say. Especially if you still have any element of caring for him and don't want to hurt him. You know? And I get the feeling that she does. She doesn't want to hurt him. And that she is genuinely afraid that meeting him again will reignite whatever was before. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And then he holds back Ononoki. Even if you said it, you'd tell the third the same. They are not equals. Aragi is the only one for me, essentially, is what she says. So then you have to go and tell him that. Provide a relief for his hatred. It changes nothing, but it changes everything. Ah. 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 He wants the mark off. The mark that protected him before. Chased him down, negotiated. We're gonna fight at Naoetsu, which is, I believe, where we fought Dramaturgy, right? I think so. She was aware of that, asks, asks him to feed her, and then to put on the bra for her as she reads her boy's love. Nice, Kanbaru. Do your best. Okay, I want to read through here. Here left beyond the door. You were supposed to be with me forever. Hmm. I'll show you right now. Here to brush the hallway to talk to you normally. Supposed to be next to me forever. Now I know how important you were to me. But we will never see each other again. That sounds like a breakup song to me. Are the lyrics the same between this and the first three arcs? I think they are. Which is interesting that they function so well for this here and also for the other stories that have been told. Very interesting. Okay. Okay, I feel like I sort of get it now. A little bit. Just a little bit. But there is only one thing left to do, and that is to see how this duel goes down. I'm expecting an anticlimax. A climactic anticlimax. As the Gatari series is wont to do. But we'll see. There's only one thing to do, and that's to watch it. So I'm gonna take a moment to do a resync, and then we'll jump into the final episode and see how this plays out. I'll see you in a moment. All right, final episode of Owarimonogatari is locked and loaded, and I am ready to watch it. Let's see how this duel goes. Beep beep timer. Hmm. 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 Again, trying to relate this to the other decision. Oh, you worthy girl. Hmm. Truly. Truly. I'm using the right subs, right? I didn't do that again, did I? No, we're good. Hmm. That is a hell of a line. Hmm. 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 Okay, here we go. Hello. Back in this form, are we? So she didn't remove it. Okay, then. What's on that stand? Is that the sword? Well, you're not linked. Had his own voice back. Oh, it's because his bond is so strong that he's not fighting with her. Will she show up? Right. Right. Cool. Okay. So what is the handicap? So we're doing this as though uh uh hmm. Ah, a running specialist? Okay, so we've got 30 minutes of prep. Okay. And 10 steps. Yeah. Nope. Hmm. Helpful. A lot with Hanakawa. Was that from the rumor she was with Kaiki? I feel like it was. You got to get through this real fast. Oh no, that's from his room. Yeah. Duh. Or win it fast. So the choice between following and saving Hanakawa. All of them? Whoosh. Wasting time. Same goes for the duel. Is that the same roller that he used in that fight? It is. They're all special to me and will understand. Yup. Ding. The real sword. Shinobu here. I suppose we will. That ups the stakes a little bit, doesn't it? Oh. Is he wearing a Kaiki outfit? Kinda. Oh. Huh? Huh? Oh. He took it from the shrine? But oh fuck. The source of everything. Oh wow. And devouring him. The only and his name. The only true death. The line from yeah. The first scene that the anticlimax. Yeah. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Coyote mist? Mm-hmm. It did remain. Dream span? This sounds like something that we should be sure of. Otherwise, that's a loose thread. Okay. I suppose. Clung to the ceiling as she passed underneath. Hmm. Shadow. A little bit. Like Oikura. The start and end of an age. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I think I just realized something. Hold on. Those pinkish bits. Is that, now we know his name, Seishiro? Huddled up over himself with the ribbon in his hair? Maybe. Maybe it doesn't matter. Kinda looks like it though. Okay, well, this arc went from not really understanding what the hell was going on to, okay, this just seems like it's an interesting meta thing, to, oh shit, this lands extraordinarily well in these last 2 episodes. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Putting Araragi at a crossroads, and for Gaian having her own vested interest in, well, not so much a vested interest, but like a curiosity in what Araragi will do. Him being the unpredictable one who throws a wrench into what she can understand and predict and know. Hmm. And again, it does become a bit of an anticlimax, as expected to an extent. We bring all of these threads together, and Araragi puts his trust in others. And instead of going for the blade, he uses another plan. Goes for the chest. And the other vampire becomes very Kaiki-esque here. It's kind of weird. Kind of love it. Very different, but also the same. The leap, the grab, and the cackle. So why does he shed the shoes? I don't know. Just because he's running that fast and they don't quite fit him? Comes down. It's in the chest, and they refrain from actually putting it in his hand so that the reveal is a big moment. This is the climax, kind of. He took that from the shrine. I wonder if you went back through the last episode, I bet you could pinpoint the moment where it was taken from the shrine. Because it was very distinctly shown behind Gaian when she was talking. I'm sure there's a shot that shows it being gone, and you could have figured it out. I didn't. Totally didn't see this coming at all. But hits him with it, and man, we get horrifying. Very much like some of the very first scenes from Kizu. And sort of expands outward into a sea of aberrations, I suppose. We get some translations for some of these, I think, as he's screaming out Kishot. I want to go through this and see what we got. So there were a bunch here that are unfamiliar. So we see the circle, crab, snail, monkey, snake. So in order, I assume. Cat, bee, phoenix, tiger, dog, bear, leopard, ladybug, zebra, fox, coral, camel, sea cucumber, cow, lion, giraffe, grayfish, shark, ostrich, wolf, turtle, deer, goat, chicken, rabbit, millipede, mold. All of the other possibilities, I suppose. All of them embodied by Seishiro. Dugong, rhinoceros beetle, turban shell, inchworm. All these other, maybe future promises. Never know. It just becomes a sea contained here. Man, it is the way his voice is edited is a big part of it, but it's kind of heartbreaking. Everything about him fades into this soupy sea. He raises the blade above him, but Shinobu is here. And light comes back. She devours him. Biting the neck first. The only way that he could ever be truly released is to be drained and consumed by her. That's gorgeous. That's so good. It's so good, and the scenes are beautiful. And then there's this scene, which we saw against a black background out of context in the very first scenes of the first episode of this arc. Suicide was finally successful. We do see the wash of stuff pull back. I believe we do see, the armor left by it. A loose thread, which Ogi comes up with. The rest told elsewhere, yes, we've already seen. Thank you for your story. One last thing, the armor could be reforged into another demon sword heart span, specifically the short sword dream span. In fact, ideally, for who? As the short sword dream span. Our Gaian. I would collect the armor lest she eat it. Gaian has no reason to do that. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know Gaian's motivations. I certainly don't. Ogi walks out. And then we have our winding down, our denouement. Very soft on her, a little bit. And then she asks the real questions. Are you happy? He tries to brush it off. Kind of. Nobody becomes happy. It's just a burden. And then in these last lines, Ononoki ties it back in with the arc of Oikura. Wallowing. And the lines that Hanakawa says to her. You're just not trying to be happy. Don't believe you can be. Tying it all together in a way that I absolutely didn't expect and am thrilled by. Are you one of those people who thinks wallowing it in unhappiness and luck is the same as toughing it out? There's something that rings so powerfully about this statement here. I think a lot of people fall prey to this. I think I've fallen prey to this at some point. Wallowing in self-pity and then patting yourself on the back for getting through it. Ah. I can say honestly that I've been there. It's not worth it. It's not the same thing. Toughing it out only exists if you're pushing towards something. If you're shooting for happiness, as they say. Anticlimax and a lesson. Perhaps a long time from now. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. I do have the time. Walking forward, facing back. On an uphill climb. Well, that was a cool finale to what has been an amazing season of Monogatari. I mean, the first arcs, the Sudachi arcs, were fantastic. This one had its ups and downs, I think, but the way that it ends here, a lot of elements of it were more solid than I realized at the time. Does that make sense? like almost like reminiscing or nostalgia. You don't necessarily understand how important the things you're experiencing are until you can look back on them and realize that there was a lesson there or there was something interesting there. This arc feels that way to me. Like there were elements that I didn't understand the weight of while I was experiencing them, but now looking back at them I'm going, "Ah, okay. Okay." I have a new fondness. Very interesting. And a very feel-good ending with uncertainty. Okay. Cool. Very cool. I think that's where we're going to leave off. So, I've been Teeaboo. This has been the end of Owarimonogatari. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I hope to catch you next week where we continue our journey. I believe next up should be Koyomi, but I'll ask around in my Discord and see what people think. In any case, there'll be something up next week, so I'll see you there. Peace.